Hi students, the topic is about what happens to an acid or a base in a water solution. Let us do some experiments to check the nature of acids. Take about 1 gram solid sodium chloride in a clean and dry test tube and set the apparatus as shown. You're going to take a conical flask in which it contains concentrated sulfuric acid and you're going to pour in this test tube. Test the gas evolved successively with dry and wet blue litmus paper. In which case does the litmus paper change color? On the basis of the above activity, what do you infer about the acidic character of dry hydrochloric gas and hydrochloric solution? So in this case, blue litmus paper will change actually in the color of red in the moist litmus paper. If the litmus paper is moist, there will be the change color. If the litmus paper is dry, there won't be any change in color of the litmus paper. Okay. Let us know about the observations and conclusions of the above experiment. This experiment suggests that hydrogen ions in hydrochloric acid are produced in the presence of water. The separation of H plus ion from hydrochloric molecules cannot occur in the absence of water. So water is a must in case of hydrogen ion separation. As you can see in this equation, hydrochloric acid plus water will give you hydronium ion, okay? And this is actually chloride ion. Hydrogen ions cannot exist alone, but they exist after combining with water molecules. These hydrogen ions must always be shown as H plus, that is in aqueous form, or hydronium ion. Okay, so hydrogen ion plus water will get you hydronium ions. But what happens in the case of base solutions? That is, if you take sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, and try to dissolve in water, what do you observe? In that case, hydroxide ions in water are actually generated, as you can see here, OX minus. Bases which are soluble in water are called alkalis. Okay, let us review the neutralization reaction, what we have seen earlier. Acid plus base will give you salt and water. So if you consider acid as HX plus base as MOH, it will actually form as MX plus HOH. That is, this water is formed because of hydrogen ion and hydroxide ions together combines will give you this water. So I hope now you understood how there is a water formation and neutralization reaction. But what happens when water is mixed with acid or base directly? Before we took acid or base in a beaker and then we added water. But what happens if it is vice versa? Take 10 ml of water in a beaker, add a few drops of concentrated sulfuric acid to it, and swirl the beaker slowly. Touch the base of the beaker and you will experience a change in temperature. And this reaction is actually exothermic in nature. It can be highly exothermic one. Care must be taken while mixing concentrated nitric acid or sulfuric acid with water. The acid must always be added slowly to the water with constant stirring. You cannot add the acids very fastly because it causes harm, it causes burns, or it may even splash out. The glass container may also break due to excessive local heating. There is an exothermic reaction and this can cause a splash or burns, or even the glass beaker can even break. Okay, and you should actually go through the warning sign before you take or use any acids. With these warning symbols are actually sticked in the beakers where these acids are actually stored. So what are the results from that experiment? Mixing an acid or base with water results in decrease in the concentration of ions per unit volume. Such a process is called dilution, and the acid or base is said to be diluted. Okay, so if you use a pure acid or a base, it is called as concentrated acid or base, and if you dilute it water and you are going to use it for an experiment, it is actually called as diluted acid or base. Coming to the summary part, we have seen about the experiments to understand the nature of acids and bases. We have reviewed neutralization reaction, reaction of acids and bases with water, and final results. Thank you.